Hi, my name is Rachel, and my expertise lies in French psychology and English. Salut, je m'appelle Rachael, et puis j'ai de l'expérience avec l'anglais, la psychologie, et puis le français. The top tip I have for learning French is actually just forcing yourself to speak it. You learn a lot by practice. Practice is really everything. And even if you say it wrong, that's okay, as long as you get your point across. In English, you can say anything. And as long as someone understands you, especially if it's not your first language, you're still speaking English. The same goes for learning French. You just have to force yourself to do that. On top of which, it's a different part of your brain working. It takes practice. A lot of people are very visual, so they find writing and reading French a lot easier than actually vocalizing it. And that's actually really normal. It actually takes a lot more work, and it's a different part of your brain working when you're actually speaking French. My traditional route of university has not been traditional in any way, and I did not have this figured out. In fact, I was a truck driver for 7 years before I actually went back to university. When I finished high school, I actually went to university and I would either fail a class or pass it with flying colors, and there was no in between. At the time, I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD, so I didn't know any tools or skills to do it. And I was a really bad student because I wasn't focused. I had no direction. Honestly, I felt like a failure because I either would pass a class or fail it, and there was no in between. So I took a step back from university, and after high school, I went into the trades. I'm a mature student. When I actually went and finished my degree, I ended up doing a full degree with honors in two majors. I'm an A student. I have a pretty high GPA, and I'm very proud of that. But that took time. When I first came out of high school, I wasn't a good student. I really wasn't. So that took me time to get to where I was. And I had to learn how to cope. When it comes to tutoring and ADHD, it is really good, especially if you're doing it online with someone. It is good to be a little bit more secluded, not be a place with a lot of music or a lot of sound so that you can focus on the attention of someone else. I find that when you have that one-on-one interaction, whether it's in person or virtually, you are more likely to be engaged because you can actually ask questions directly. And that's something that also helps, is really just actively being involved. I know that if I'm not taking part, if I'm not being active with questions, if I'm not actually trying to understand something, I'm less likely to pay attention to it. And that goes with everybody. So you kind of have to engage in the lesson. You have to be present and active and giving yourself a little bit of space from the outside world, but also willing to engage. So have conversations with your tutor and really talk to them and actually engage in the material, and you'll actually learn it and absorb it a lot better as well.